The international break is over, but do not fear, there's another one in October, so don't worry about that. Premier League football returns as West Ham take the trip to Craven Cottage. It wasn't a happy, is it dumping ground? No. What's that phrase?
It's about stomping ground.
Stomping ground, that's it. It wasn't a happy stomping ground for the Hammers last year. It was one of Mike's 2 away days last year, and we lost 5-0. Mike, you're not going Saturday, are you?
Don't panic. I'm not going.
Good.
Yeah.
We got a chance.
We've got a chance. Hopefully better than the 5-0 drubbing we saw at the bitter end of the David Moyes era last season. West Ham rejuvenised a little bit under Julian Lopetegui. Some positive performances so far, and hopefully we can build upon those at Craven Cottage on Saturday. Welcome back to West Ham, an official. I've had my little break. International break's done. We're back. Fixtures is back, which is good. And I have a delightful panel to discuss Saturday's game. Larry, firstly, how are you, mate?
Very good, Jake. How are you?
Not bad.
Nigel, Mike, hope you're well as well.
Hope you're both well. Mike, you all right, mate?
What time is it there, Larry?
Right now, it's 2:00 in the afternoon.
2:00 in the afternoon. Looks lovely, mate. The weather looks good.
Richard said I had a sub in for Gary, but I said I really don't have an English accent, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, exactly. Gary was otherwise in. I don't know what Gary is.
No one in England's got an English accent anymore. Do you know?
No.
Right, come on, guys. Let's not go there, please. Thank you.
Good, thanks, mate. Very good. I've just been outside building a shed base. So I look a bit red in the face, I expect.
Jolly good. Right, yeah. So Gary, to be fair, Dad did tell me why Gary couldn't be here tonight, but Gary's not here, so we've got a perfect substitution in Larry. So hopefully, hopefully you're a good super sub, and you never know, you might keep Gary on the bench, which is good, which is a possibility. The amount he takes a mick out of me at this stage. So Larry, this is your trial tonight. Nigel, how are you, mate? Here we go.
I'm good, mate. I'm very good. I won't mention that till later on, Jake. What was going to go on about earlier. Right. I tell you what, I wouldn't like to be cutting Larry's long.
No, neither would I.
neither would I.
I bet he's got someone to do it for him. No, Larry, you've definitely got someone to do it for you, haven't you?
Well, if I had the money that we just heard that you make, yeah, I probably would.
Yeah.
Listen, you said you'd leave at 5 minutes. Let's talk about some football first. Well, we better do. That's why we're here. I'm going to firstly ask the three of you, what did you make, and what would you score West Ham out of 10 in terms of performances in the first? How many did we play? 3 games. So we had Villa, Palace, and City. A rating out of 10 and a slight overview of how you've seen the start of the Julian Lopetegui era. Larry, I'll start with you.
You know, to be honest, I would give it a 7. I really believe with the people, with the team and the squad that we brought on, it's going to take time for chemistry. The Villa game, Villa wasn't really up to par. We weren't. You could tell we were trying to get, into the new tactics, new team players. Even up to the City game, you still were trying to work together on the stuff like that. The Crystal Palace game, I know they lost some people compared to how the hard they started last year, but we got it on the road, which was a great win. And then, I heard different people talk about the City game. But I saw the after action by Mike and by Nigel stuff. I'm in agreement. I was proud of the boys of what they put up. I thought they put up a fight, and we had it a couple of times on the ropes. So I only say 7 because, hey, it's, we weren't perfect, but that was to be expected. I always say, trust the process. This is part of the process, and we'll begin again now in Fulham. But 7 for what we brought in and trying to work together. And we got 3 points. And one thing that we all said was we wanted to get something before the City game. So to get those 3 points there and not just a draw, I'm pleased with that.
Absolutely. Nigel, how would you assess the first 3 games of the new era?
Yeah, I would again go for a 7 because I think the Villa game, what we're forgetting is Villa finished in the top 4 and they're in the Champions League. They're not a bunch of mugs. And we was right in that game. As for Palace, yeah, I think, after last season, going there and beating them 2-0 was a really good performance. And, the players were really up for it. Again, Wan-Bissaka, absolutely outstanding. The City game, a lot of people were saying, they had loads of possession. We could have been 3-0 down, but we weren't 3-0 down. And at 70 minutes, 75 minutes, until Haaland scored that goal, it was looking like it could have been a 2-2. So from a 3-1, I don't think it's too bad because we was right in that game and we gave it to them. He don't like being attacked, and I think we've got some good attacking options. So, yeah, I'm a solid 7.
Yeah, just before we go to Mike's one, I think it's just clear to outline that Nigel just mentioned Palace away, which was the other game that Mike went to away from home last season, which again we conceded 5 goals.
Mike's magic number is 5.
Yeah, in the wrong way. Mike, your rating out of 10 so far for the season?
I've got to say, first of all, my away record is pretty good until last year.
Yeah, until last year, then it all went up the wall. But yeah, Mike, crack on.
Mate, I've got to agree with the 7s. Performance-wise, definitely 7s. We got 3 points from 3 games. Yeah, we had to get 3 before City, let's face it. City was a free hit. But I was pleased the way we played against them. You know, we did actually put pressure on them more than we've done for a very, very long time. I don't think we were that bad in the Villa game. It was just, I think a lot of new players coming in, and Villa were a team that, you know, they've been playing with for, you know, a long time. You know, they all knew their jobs. I think, I said 10 games. Let's look after 10 games and see where we are then. If the performances keep coming in and we don't get the results, I won't panic. You know, I won't be panicking and putting pressure on him. I think we got to look after 10 games and see how he's gone. You know, if we've got 12 or 15 points, great. But if not, and the performances are good, I see little green shoots. I was saying that the other day. Defensively, we look a lot stronger. Attacking wise, yeah, I still think there's people like Fulham, you know, who's got to fit in. I think he will be a decent player. People are writing him off already. I don't know how you can do that when the guy's only had a few minutes on the pitch. So I think there's a lot of work to do yet. And but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we're going to be a lot better than we were last year.
Absolutely. Let's hope so. Good evening to everybody joining us in the chat. Michael, we know the business. Evening, Rich, and of course Jake and the panel. Well, you know, one of the panel decided he couldn't be asked to turn up tonight, so he's been docked his show fees, and they've been transferred to Larry. Michael says, good, thank you. Would like to see Paquette arrested and Sola get a game. Now, Nigel, I was tasked with making you laugh before the international break. So just imagine if that Sola, like I haven't seen him play football yet, right? Just imagine if he married, I don't know, Jill Panel, and they took a double-barreled name. He'd be Carlos Sola Panel.
Yeah, good one, that, Jake. I was thinking you was going to say that straight away as soon as you opened your mouth. As part of my job, I actually got a business that proofs solar panels, funny enough. So I know a little bit about solar panels, to be fair.
Jake, you've had all this time to work on your jokes, mate. Come on.
That was
You gotta
good,
have something better than that.
Better effort than that. Come on, mate.
All right, next week. If we got next week, we've got Chelsea next week, right? Chelsea preview. It'll be better. It'll be even better.
Yeah.
The jokes are only going one way, up, better.
Look
at Nigel. Look at Nigel.
I know, mate. That Chelsea game last year was like probably one of the worst I went to. I know Palace was bad, Liverpool was bad, Fulham was dreadful. Chelsea had to be the nail in the coffin for me last year. I went down at half time and I was totally. I don't drink, but I hit the bar at half time, and then I gave them a chance. I said I'm going to go back up at the start of the first half, and I'm going to, if we can get back into it, and they scored straight away.
I know.
So I left and went to the pub. I'd had enough. I couldn't watch it. So
we waited. We stood there and stuck it out to about 80 minutes. He sort of, you know, him down there, he sodded it off early, fake fan.
Not with them, not with Chelsea. You can't be standing watching their fans grill us. And do you know what I mean? I couldn't bear it. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. We didn't look interested. And I can't see us getting hammered that many times again. It should be Fulham. This is a funny thing last year. When I went to Fulham last year, a few things happened. Some bloke fell over and nearly broke his neck on the stairs just at the back of me. so we couldn't get down for half time. And then which meant I had to sit up there. And the steward next to me fell asleep during the game. And a girl, but there was a girl and her boyfriend sitting just over from us, sitting eating the Dominoes, and they fell asleep as well. When they scored their 5th goal,
what you should have done, Nigel, what you should have done is go domino.
Domino.
Do you know what I thought? And their fans, when the 5th goal went in, it was like they couldn't even cheer.
Oh dear, what's this turned into, honestly? Sean, 50, I hope well, mate. 50-50 game versus Fulham. Bookies can't split them either. He says, I want to see more of the ball and more attacks in this game if I was a Hammer. Let's hope so. Only difference in the City game was one team had a striker. Very true. Very true. That was worse than a dad joke, Jake. Well, I thought it was quite good, personally. I had that ready, stored, and primed, ready for this show. And but right, we'll come back to that. Fulham, Larry, they've been a side that, they're a funny mid-table side. At some points last season, it looked like they might have pushed for Europe, but it just sort of petered out into another mid-table finish for them. Of course, they can be a dangerous side. We saw that when we went to their place last season. But what do you make of Fulham, firstly, Larry?
I just try to do a little bit of research on Fulham. Fulham is Marcos Silva, the manager. I think he's top notch. I think he does a good job. I think you have a solid defensive midfield. I think what they struggle with is their striker position, like us, scoring there. I just did a little look this year. They're averaging a goal a game, giving up about 1.3 a game, but not much more than us. I know there's only 3 games in. They got some new players in that. Smith Rowe, I think he's got a goal for him already. He's the one that came off Arsenal. They weren't really giving much PT, so we'll see what they're. I think they're going to be going through the same thing that we are. I think we did better at the transfer window, so we're going to have a little bit more upside to us. But they got some new players that they could put on there that will sharpen them up. And I think with Silva and his managing skills, I think he'll get there. I see that this is a close game. If we were all together with the talent that we have, I would definitely give us a thumbs up. I still think we could win it. But you're going to their place. What is it? West London, is it? And I just think we can do it if we got the chemistry. But we can't take them lightly. And they got a good defensive squad. It's just getting their goals right now. I mean, they played 2 teams that just came up, and they tied with Ipswich 1-1, and then they lost to Man U 1-0. So, I think we had a tougher road of it the first 3 games when you got Villa, like what Nigel said, top 4 team. Then you got City up there, and then you go to Crystal Palace, who was the strongest team going in. So and I know we got a transition. So I think we have to be careful with their midfielders. I think that's where they get some attack, Smith Rowe. But I think we got to take them serious.
Yeah, absolutely. Smith Rowe is the key man. He's been. I sort of predicted he'd move away from Arsenal for a couple of years now, and it's finally happened. And I think he scored on his debut or something, and he's started life really well for him. Look, I know we're only 13 minutes in here, right? But Larry's come, he's prepared, he's got notes, he's got stats, right?
I was going up against these top-notch guys here, and I couldn't beat them,
I'm not being funny,
Don't
right?
panic, Larry, honest, mate.
I'm not being funny. Honestly.
Like, where's Fulham at? I don't know. Is there a Greg's there that he can Jake can buy his dad breakfast instead of McDonald's because it's 50% off? I don't know.
It's closing October. They're not doing McDonald's breakfast anymore. So
what?
I think Richard's going to be eating Jake for he's going to be eating Jake for Greg's breakfast now.
There you go.
I mean, I'm not being funny, right? He's turned up with all these notes. Nigel, Mike, have you got any notes prepared? Do you prepare for the shows or?
See, it's in their heads.
Mate. It's all in here.
Yeah, I'm the rookie. I had.
Look at that! He's got pages and pages of it. Larry, show me that again. You've got pages and pages of it.
Well, I just got a couple pages. I write real big.
That's brilliant. I don't even do that. I don't think I've ever done that, and it's my own show. Larry, that's absolutely brilliant. I love it. Nigel, Mike, take notes. Literally, take notes.
We're doing that. I'll be doing that now. I'll be taking
we better bring a little notepad in next week.
The old statistics and all that. I'm writing that.
Yeah,
little analytics up here. Let's do it real quick.
No, Fulham. Honestly, I watched Fulham the first game against Man U, and I thought they were unlucky. But I thought they deserved at least a draw against Man United. At times they put pressure on them. I know Man United ain't all that now, they're not the team they were, but Yeah, it's a tricky game. I think we should be a lot better than last year. We had Creswell at left back. I was right down in that corner when he was left back in the first half, and he just got rinsed every time. And all Gerd give a ball away 2 or 3 times. I think we're a lot better, in the back four now. I think we're a lot tighter. Yeah, interesting game. I've got to be honest. I'd take a point right now if someone was offering it, away from home. I know we're not going out of London for 6 or 8 games or something stupid
until November.
Yeah, I mean in the league. I don't think we should be going there fearing them at all. We should be going there and giving them a go. But I would take a point right now. It's Fulham are one of those teams, aren't they? They're like Palace. They always go on a good run somewhere, and keep themselves at the middle of the table at least. Like Larry said, he's a good manager. He gets them playing some decent football. Smith Rowe is a decent acquisition. Is William gone now?
I don't know. Look, he's getting his notes out. He's got the squad broke down.
I don't see him on my sheet, Coach. I'm not sure. I don't see him on the sheet.
He's gone, and I thought he did really well for them. To be fair, an out goal scoring striker. I don't know. Is the number 9 still there? What's his name?
William's gone to Olympiacos.
Oh right,
Jimenez.
okay.
Yeah, they're using now Muniz. Yeah,
Jimenez. Yeah, I mean he usually scores against us, or he has done.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Whether it's the Wolves, whether it's the Fulham. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a good point.
But no, they got pace. I mean, the fullback is so quick. That Robertson, he is absolutely motorised. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a worry down that flank. But, hey, he's coming down the flank, and hopefully, we're going to be attacking behind him. I think, to be totally honest, this is a game where we shouldn't be frightened of them. We should go out there and give it a go. But, you know what I mean? Feed a few players in. I mean, there's talk about Somerville really training well, so I'd like to see him get on the pitch, feed him in a bit, give him a bit of a chance. It could go either way, admittedly, but I'd take a draw right now.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I mean, I don't know whether anybody heard there during Mike's fantastic speech. Our landline home phone started going.
Mike, there's someone at the door, mate.
No, it's the home phone. It's Gary ringing up saying, "Don't bother. I've just seen he's just seen what Larry's prepared." And the breaking news is that Gary has scrapped this show and he's decided to go and work at Greg's. Who'd have thought it?
Can I have a latte, please?
Nigel, any thoughts on that? Firstly,
yeah. Well, Greg's or the Fulham. We're talking about Robinson's pace, but let's not forget who kills us every time he plays against us.
Oh, the other one, yeah.
Traore.
Yeah.
How fast is he? And he greases his muscles up when he's on, so himself up, so no one can grab him, and he destroys us. He destroys us when he plays against us. Again, Jimenez, he's gone. I think Jimenez is gone now, but he always scores against us. And Diop's bound to come up and score from a corner.
That's right, Diop. Yeah.
They are. Go back to Smith Rowe. I think he's a terrific player, and I was a bit gutted that we didn't try and get him because I think he's a really, really brilliant player. And I think he's the only reason he is not playing for Arsenal is because Odegaard plays in his position.
Yeah, very true. Really good player.
That's the only reason he's not number 1 choice for Arsenal, and he's a very, very good player. So I imagine, Traore is one of them players. He's crap at finishing, but he'll score against us. Or he'll give us a hard time. Can you imagine him running at Creswell or something like that?
Don't even do that. Nightmares.
Oh, don't. He's the stuff defenders are terrified of pace, aren't they?
Nigel, we're going live to the roving reporter. Larry, he's just sort of switched around his paper. So Larry's got
I just wanted to support what Nigel said. For the first 3 matches, Traore's already got 1 goal and 1 assist, and for how much they produce, that's pretty good. So they've only had 3 goals. He's been involved in 2 of them. So good shout out there, Nigel. Just wanted to support you there.
Gary's job is lost.
Yeah,
He's done, mate. Gary, you're done, mate. It's finished.
Yeah.
Leo.
Gary,
Done.
you. Gary, you.
I'm going to send the link of the show to him and make him watch it.
Gary, I know how you can keep your job. Now, Jake already let us know he got 91 quid from YouTube. This month. So if you want to throw a couple more there, I'm sure I could be removed.
Right, let's just contextualize the situation for the people watching at home. So basically what happens before we come live is we go into a green room little area, and I come on 15 minutes before the show, like put myself on the screen, make sure everything's all right and sort everything out, and then I usually take myself off and just do other stuff whilst I wait. Well, I forgot to take myself off in the 10-minute period in between, and I was talking to somebody, and I was also coincidentally having a little look at how much YouTube are paying me next month, which is now giving Nigel all the bait in the world. I bet he can probably remember it to the cent, to the penny.
His little face, mate. He was like a right little. Oh, mate, you should have seen his little face there. 91 quid. Is that all? Oh, mate. You could. He cannot not buy a beer now.
That's
Oh,
right.
and he's got a job. And he's got a job now.
And we'll all be
Believe it.
we'll be all rank Greg's on Saturday morning.
That's right.
Mate, he could actually be in danger of buying a round.
That's right. Not just one beer to split amongst everybody, but everybody
He'd
gets
be,
their own
he'd be
beer.
like that. There you go. He'd go look at the concourse and go, champagne for everyone.
Nigel, I've bought you a drink. I don't need to buy you any more.
Oh, God.
Look, do you want a reminder, Nigel, of that drink I bought you? Because I'll find it. There it is. Look.
Oh, he's
look.
got it. There you go.
There
Look how fat I am now. Come on, mate. That's when I was on the beer.
You were correct. It was literally in your hand. But anyway, right, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's take some comments. Larry will be on Soccer Saturday, which is on Sky Sports. Larry is. I do hope nobody's watching from the big companies, because otherwise he's going to be scouted. He's going to be off with all this going on. The West Ham massive. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, Gates. Hope you are well. Is
Thank you,
this
yourself.
a remake of the Brady Bunch? Well, I don't know what the Brady Bunch is. So.
Oh, no. We get you. We get you, Peter. We understand. We know what that
we
is.
do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I ain't going to have to Google what the Brady
Apart from we
Bunch.
ain't got pigtails.
The Brady Bunch, right? Images. Right.
Oh, he's searching there. He's Googling now.
Well, I don't think we look like that. I don't think we look like that. What a horrible thing to say,
He
Peter.
loves
You
a
used
bit
to
of
say.
Google. He loves a bit of Google, old Jake, doesn't he?
Peter used to say, even into like all the convicts and criminals, apart from Jake, but I just get included in it now. I'm just part of everybody else. I've lost my innocency in Peter's mind, which is a real shame. Look, parents take £85 of that. Look,
There you go.
I
They
was
all
simply
do, mate.
looking.
The
I don't.
amount of electricity you probably use in that room.
All that electricity. Yeah.
I don't
old
often
people,
look.
Poor old people getting all their benefits cut in this country and all their heating bills. Jake's there with 3 heaters on like that, fan all lights up and all that, going, yeah.
look, it was a really unfortunate scenario because I don't often look at how much money I've got coming in, but I thought I'd just have a look to see how much
Too
it
late
is.
now.
Oh, he don't need to look, does he? Oh, he
No,
don't
just-
need to look. He's proper financially secure.
I just
It's a new
simply
West
look.
Ham shirt every season.
No, it's not. No, I bought that one, right? But I won't be buying any more. 50% of any money Jake earns should go towards his parents for housing. You lot are a bad influence.
Here, Peter. Here. Lazy teenagers.
At least, yeah.
At least, Mike, shush. Andy, thanks for joining us. Pete, I hope you are well as well. Well, you all used to be so nice to me, but now you're just horrible to me. So,
You're growing up, Jake. Sorry, buddy.
yeah.
That's
How
right,
many-
mate. When you was a little kid, we felt bad.
Oh,
We don't
dear,
feel
look,
bad anymore.
that's gone now. How many Barbie dolls can you buy with that money, Jake? That's just going to make taken out of me now. I mean, this just isn't fair. Right? I try and produce quality content, and Larry produces quality content. Everybody else, well, it's not looking good, but
We just produce content. Like,
yeah, there's no quality involved.
Content.
Yeah,
No.
but anyway, Mike, is that a drink on a school night?
Yeah.
what is that, Mike?
Nice.
I can't
Very
see that.
nice.
Other beers are available, of course. Madry.
Tree.
Sweet.
Oh,
Nice, Mike.
Yeah, lovely.
I've got tea, mate.
It
in
is,
my-
it is.
Well done.
Conference League Winners' Cup.
Exactly.
I've
Fantastic.
got a new one. West Ham. Yeah. No.
Lovely. Right. In terms of a team lineup for West Ham on Saturday, it's gonna be difficult. Oh, Mike got so angry he left and then came back again. See, Mike, you were in and out there, in and out, shaking all about. Anyway, so defensively, does Todibo come in? Is my first question, or does Mavropanos keep his spot alongside Kilman? Larry, you're shaking your head. Have you got some stats to back up your answer for me?
This is just off of the content, no
Oh,
stats. I just, in my opinion, Mav has played a good back there. He's played good at the center back position there. When Todibo came in, he didn't look fit when he came into the squad. He looked out of position. He had one pass that cost one of the goals. He needs time. I got it. But if Mav is good from coming back from Greece, I'd really start him again. I would keep the same starting four minus. We need Spider. We need Juan Pasaka to be there on the right. Put Emerson to the left. Kilman, the man, and that would be my four Mav. Now, Todibo needs to have some time. Don't get me wrong. And maybe he's been magical off these 10 days. But remember, out of these 10 days that we've been practicing, some of our major players haven't been there either for the chemistry. So we need to take that. So if I was Lopetegui, I would stick with Mav in that spot.
Are we in agreement?
Yeah, I am, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Todibo, he probably needs time. He doesn't look 100% fit. Larry just said it. I think he needs a bit more, feeding into the team. Just give him a few minutes here and there, and then, hopefully, a cup game here and there. And I think he's a quality player. There's no doubt about it. But he's just off the pace of the Premier League at the moment, I think. So, yeah, give him time. But Mavropanos, another decent game for Greece, apparently. So, keep him in there. I think Mavropanos, he had one or two mistakes in him last year. He made a couple of mistakes, and they cost goals, and that was a problem. They did cost a goal here and there, but with Kilman alongside him, I think he's more of a steady influence.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mike. That's spot on, because what I noticed, what he's learned to do now, and you guys tell me if you've noticed it happened towards the end of the season. He was making some terrible passes, either backwards passes or passes into the middle deep. And now he's starting to clear the ball out more. When he's not set, he's just kicking it out of bounds so they can reset. And I've seen that more, and that's a positive. Just to say, Mike, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think he's got a decent pass on him as well if he wants to use it.
Yeah.
But he's just got a, he's made them and they were back passes, most of them that caused us last year. So if he gets that out of his game, I think there's a decent player there.
Nigel, do you think with Todibo, do you think it might be a case of the cup game against Liverpool before we rush him into the sort of into the Premier League? Do you think he's ready for that? And do you think it's fair dropping Mavropanos or somebody who hasn't done himself too many favours but hasn't played much as well, so you can't judge him on that? It's a tricky scenario for Lopetegui here, isn't it, in terms of centre halves?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with Larry and with the fact that Mav made some mistakes early on. The Bristol City one was a bad one, if I remember rightly. But he is now starting to think, hang on, I can't do this at this level. I've got to boot it out, and that's what he's been doing. He's good, big and strong at corners. He's good at winning the ball. He carries the ball well. He can ping the ball about. Todibo.
I keep getting it wrong.
I think this is my opinion. He's one of them players who's going to be hot and cold. He's going to do some absolutely fantastic, brilliant things, but he's going to mess up big time. He's already proved. I've watched him this season. He got caught on the ball. I think it was against Fulham really badly. But then in the next breath, he just whipped the ball off someone and he glided past two players so fast like they weren't there. And then who did we play the other night? When did he play the other night against Bournemouth? And he was getting the ball and these little drag backs and back heels and looking really good. And I was like, but his defending looks a little bit ropey. So I think he's one of them players. I'm not too sure. I think he's going to come unstuck quite a bit this season and take some stick. But I do think in there's an absolutely brilliant player.
I do, and hopefully we can get the best out of him in that sense. Let's take some of your comments. Read it line over from Gatesy. He says 4-1, 4-1. Ariola Wan-Bissaka. He's going with Tadibo. Kilman, Emerson, Alvarez sitting. Kudus, Paqueta, Souček, Somerville, and Bowen. So the inclusion of Souček and Somerville in that side. Interesting. We'll move up to midfield in just a second, and we'll have a little chat about that. Hit the like button. There was something here that I read, but it's now gone. Where did it go? It was something taking a mick out of me, so it won't be hard to find. Come on, people! 20 likes needed for Jake to open his wallet. Deary me.
I'm gonna like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on and like it real quick. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ring some of my mates up. Please come on here and
as Macbeth once said,
No one's seen the inside of that wallet, have they? Come on.
Mike, you've seen it and there's nothing in it, mate. You can confirm that, can't you?
he hides it away.
I saw a moth that was. I mean, I'm an animal specialist, and I saw a moth come out of his wallet. It was like one from from long ago. It's like a new species.
Right, here's someone that can hopefully back me up, Mr. Terry Douche. I've never been so thankful to see you in all my life. Terry, I've been ridiculed. I've been ridiculed constantly for the last 31 minutes and 13 seconds. Some of it was partly my own fault because I was talking and they could hear me and I didn't know they could, but I was talking about my YouTube revenue. But Terry, can you back up that I have bought you things on away days? I mean, you buy the chips. We won't go to the chips, but I did buy you a chocolate bar once, right? I'm clutching at straws here.
Chocolate.
You probably had to ask for it.
Yeah.
So, actually, I know he's not going to back me up. At least Mike has seen the wallet.
He's actually got a wallet.
I knew I could rely on you, Tel.
He normally hides the money up his backside.
Terry, come on.
Like he's in prison.
I can't be Terry because he's too quick. Terry's like too quick. He's agile. He gets some money out and he's there. And I'm like, oh, okay, brilliant.
No, you walk behind him, Jake, like on purpose, like that. And then,
Terry's one that always wants chips on the way.
Sorry,
right?
Terry. You getting this, Terry? Yeah, all right then. I'll get the next one.
I'll take it. Sure, you got this.
For 75 minutes.
No,
the check's coming and Jake goes to the restroom.
Honestly, like Terry likes to have some chips on the away days, and I go and get them, and he gives me the money to go and get them, and I get ridiculed for it because one away day I don't buy enough chips, and the next away day I buy too many chips for the money he gives me. So I can't win in any money-based situation. Honestly, I thought Jake had a Peppa Pig purse. Even security can't find Jake's money. It's my own dad. I mean, what's going on? What am I doing with my life here? What is going on? I can confirm.
Just imagine him floorboard, can't you? Like one of them, like rugs that slide back with a floorboard.
I can confirm that you did purchase me a quality chocolate bar in Gloucester Services, or did I dream it? No, actually, you've just reminded me of another scenario.
It was a Freddo.
No, I bought him Gloucester Services, Larry. Just for context, it's like the creme de la creme. It's a really expensive services, right?
It is.
Is that the one that's got the Eco Lake on it and that? And
yeah. I bought him. I think Terry, I bought you like a flapjacky thing or something. And then in Frankly one time, I also bought you a. Well, what's that chocolate bar? Is it Yorkie you have? I don't know, but yeah. See, Terry's backed me up. Terry, I know I can rely on you.
We all know it was a Freddo, Jake.
Well, they're blimmin' dear nowadays, so there's no good saying that.
Yeah, they must be all of 11p.
Right, the midfield is next. We're gonna scattle on through because I want Larry to use every single note that he's wrote down on that paper because I don't want any waste at all. So, Larry, I'm gonna let you talk us through the midfield. What would you like to see? Carlos Soler panel, who we talked about a little bit earlier on. Could he come in? You've got Souček, you've got Alvarez, you've got Paqueta. Who's in your midfield, Larry?
I'm glad you put the Soler out there because I know he's one of Lopetegui's guys, right? So he wanted him all along, like the Kilman. And Kilman came straight into play, and we've been having. And I don't want to go ahead of ourselves, but we've been saying, Fulkrug is not healthy, but he hasn't started either. He's not nicked up as bad, but he's not going to make it this week, I don't believe. I mean, the Lopetegui press conference, he didn't say so much, but it really was. And then you have Antonio, who's been playing for Jamaica and gave up one. What I would like to see, to have the mid that I want, I would like to see us play a 4-3-3. That way we would have our defensive one really would be Alvarez, and then our 10 would be Paqueta, and then Soler as your number, 6 to the side area, or your 8. I'm sorry, 8. So you would have him because I watched some tape of this guy, and he's clinical. He can get the ball up the pitch. He has a strong leg. He can take shots from outside. He does some set pieces too. So JWP went away. I think this guy brings a little bit more to the table to him. No disregard to JWP, but I really like what I see. Now I've just looked at the tape. So I would like to see that. And then that striker position for right now, we wouldn't have to worry about. We'll put Kudus in the middle. And I don't want to go ahead, but it just supports my 4-3-3.
Yeah.
And then you put Bowen to keep to the right, even though I know what people want Bowen up in the striker there. I don't know. It could be either way. Put Kudus to the right. And then you put Somerville, like I think Nigel was talking about before, or Mike in the train. They said put Somerville there on the left and see how that goes. And I think that would be what I'd like to see. Now, again, Solaire's still new to the squad. Is it going to be a 4-2-3-1? I don't know. But if it was Larry's vote for the day, I'd like to see those three midfielders.
Yeah, I mean, Rodriguez as well is another player that I forgot to mention earlier. He's really impressed me at the start, so he's got to limit this down. He's got a squad to pick from here, and it'll be interesting to see what he goes with. Sure, it wasn't a snide Fredo bar from Aldi, buy one, get one free.
Aldi.
I do like the reduced style. Now, listen, if you're an English person and you don't admit that you're a little bit tempted by them yellow stickers in the shops, I do love a good yellow sticker.
Kinder Buenos.
Those Morrison's yellow stickers, when you go in there in the evening, they are sensational, right? They are brilliant, absolutely brilliant, right? And you can't help but
at quarter to 10 at night.
you can't help but love a good bargain.
The whoops stickers.
There's an old guy who's always down Morrison, right? As soon as the yellow sticker comes out, he's there like a magnet random, like I can see him and Jake having a scrap there. Saying,
I think we probably need Guy to play with Alvarez if they got a lot of place here. Rodriguez as well. Mike, another Mike. Thanks for joining us. Hope you are well. Apparently to Debo, I'll say it right eventually, could play CDM. So that's another option in there as well. Oh, Aldi have orange stickers. To be fair, I haven't been in Aldi for years. It's basically in Mike's neck of the woods. It's Lidl's and Morrison's and Morrison's they have some nice yellow stickerage and it's good. Anyway, in terms of the midfield, who would be incorporated in your midfield, Nige?
Alvarez for sure.
Yeah.
Paquetá. I'm not so sure about Soler.
Hano.
Because when I look at I always look at the highlight reels, and sometimes if you look at his, there weren't anything really in it to get me juices flowing. Do you know what I mean? He just seemed a real bog standard player. Nothing exciting about him. I didn't see anything that caught my eye. Unless his highlight reel. Do you know what I mean?
I think you have to go back now, just because I agree with you today. He really wasn't used properly at PSG, I don't think, from what I kind of look back on. But was it Valencia's when he's 27 years old? Valencia's where he really had his highlight reel. But I'm agreeing with you to the point where it's a risk. Like Lopetegui sees something in him. PSG hasn't really utilized them to the max. So I don't think he had super highlight reels recently. You know what I mean? So it's a risk. It's something you got to check out. So it's a good point.
It's the same with the Brazilian kid. What's his name?
Guilherme.
He's you find some brilliant Brazilian and he looked like a championship player in his highlight reel. There's nothing exciting about him.
But I mean,
the highlight reels are good players, exciting players, Kudos, Paquetá, and things like that. They're just amazing to watch, and I don't see anything amazing in these highlight reels. But look, I've got to give him a chance and have a look. And I haven't even seen him play yet, so but it don't look nothing special on a highlight reel. So I would probably stick with what we know best. I would be like Alvarez, Paquetá. I like Rodriguez, but the thing I like about him is he can pick a pass. You notice his long passing is very, very good.
Yeah,
it is absolutely. Well, we've learnt one thing, Nigel. Don't doubt Larry's notes and highlight reels. That was just.
Well, I'm going to look at the Valencia thing now. I'm going to have a look back through that.
Check. I researched him up, and there's one on there where he was making some bangers, but I think it was back with Valencia on there. It was just a quick 10-minute highlight reel of him. But again, you're like, it's true. We don't know what we have yet until he plays and we
Yeah.
see what he's got.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. Terry says, that's not an old guy, Mike. It's Jake in a wig. In Morrison's, getting the yellow stickers.
He is all dressed up and that. The wig on and the big fake moustache.
Thought it might have been with a big overcoat on.
2D bow. I know, Michael, you keep trying to correct me and I keep getting it wrong. I'm going to write it down and put it there.
2D
2D
bow.
bow. That's his name.
Debo.
Jake in disguise. Yeah, was Valencia's best player. If I click on it, was Valencia's best player for a couple of seasons. Skamaka's highlight reel made him look like Ron. Aldo.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? It did. And then
Got there in the
then I
end.
went up to a friendly at Cambridge and he looked like Ronald McDonald.
Question is Larry getting over for a game this season? Larry, we need, and listen, I can't guarantee I'm going to buy you a drink. We'll have to talk about that near the time. But will you be coming over?
I am definitely trying. If it was just me, I could fly over and do all this stuff. But the wife wants to come along, love her, and it's working with their schedule.
I'm coming to America in December, not with Eddie Murphy. But,
Are you really?
Yeah,
Where
I'm
you
coming
headed?
up New York.
Okay, I'm in Kentucky right now, but yeah, that's a little
Well,
bit. But
Yeah, Jake could have got a job there instead of Greg's in the Kentucky, couldn't he?
that's right, KFC or something.
Funny one.
Yeah.
Funny one.
So
I'm hoping to meet up with some of the New York Hammers and go to Smithfield.
that's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
I got some of the New York Hammer gear and stuff, and I knew a guy that's part of that. So yeah, that's a good group there. That's a real
There we
good
go.
group.
I'm actually going to see. I'm going to look and see what games are on while I'm there as it goes.
Yeah,
Mike-
they got a spot
Mike,
there.
are you doing anything nice with these? We're just having a conversation here. So
I'm just going to have a little Google while you guys are chatting. And see
I'm aiming to get out there in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
Good
and
stuff.
like I said, I'm definitely, if it's not this year, it's next. We just got to fit into my wife's schedule. But I'm definitely, my wife Anna knows that I'm passionate about getting over there.
nice, good to hear. Good to hear. Right,
I'll have
attack,
a meet up, mate, for sure.
Got it, bud.
attacking wise, Fulkrug is out. We know that at least for this game. So it poses the question, Mike, of Bowen up front, Antonio up front, Kudus down the middle, Danny Ings, a 2 front man.
Larry touched on it. Obviously, Antonio's been out playing for Jamaica, so he's done some mileage on it.
Yeah, true.
That's the trouble with that. He still may pick him, but I probably wouldn't. I'd keep him up the sleeve. Going back to midfield, I would keep Rodriguez and Alvarez, as the 2 holders, and then Paquetá in front of them, or Paquetá and Kudus in behind the front man who could could be Bowen. I don't think he'll change too much. I think he'll keep the attacking pretty much the same.
I think he would.
But all I'm saying is I've heard good reports that Somerville's been training really well. Obviously he's been there while all the rest have been flying around the world. He's had a good look at him, so maybe he gets a chance.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Absolutely. Right, we're going to get to the final and my favourite part of the show. It is the predictions. I want to wrap things up quite quickly because I'm just conscious that Mark's not getting his winter fuel allowance nowadays, so I don't want him to waste too much electricity in his house because it's a struggling time for him nowadays. But I've got to attack something back. I've got to say something.
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Keep going.
Nigel, was that funny?
Yeah, hilarious.
Oh, look at the dog.
What did the dog think of it?
Dog likes the stash.
Not a lot.
Oh,
Not a lot.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Deary me. Right, Terry's reminiscing. He's saying you've also dipped into your funds to buy the coffees occasionally, JC. And it's not McDonald's or Greg's coffee. This is Costa coffee and Frankly Services as well. Like
he'll be bringing cold cups of Greg's to the games.
£4 top, right?
He's going to buy a bunch of stuff from Greg's, put it somewhere, and then bring it with him so he has to stand out.
Oh, dear.
Right,
Right,
put it in a flask. I'm sure he's going to buy some coffee from Greg's and put it in a flask.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
I mean, come on. If they're like £1.20 for a coffee, and I get 50% off. That's 60p a coffee, right?
What are you working in, Jake? It's out of interest. Where is it?
It's in Bruton, where we live.
Okay.
Some really
I'm making
ominous.
sure that I'm on my trips to Cornwall. I'm going to be coming past and going in that shop.
Buying stuff.
You know
and
what? I'll
saying
be
it's
one of
on
the
that
customers.
kid.
Mate, this tea's cold. I need another one.
Oh dear. Wow.
Can I
Dear.
speak to your manager?
Scary coach with the old customer complaints.
Well, I'm only working Sundays, so you'll have to.
He'd be round the back corner. He'd be like a little bloke round the back. There'd be a little cap with some bloke like putting pasties like on the trays and that like that. And he'd be like, he'd be hiding out the way of the public and that.
Yeah,
Got this little hat going past behind the jumper.
Oh dear. Right, predictions now, because I've been absolutely battered throughout the entirety of this 45-minute show. I'm going to go first on the predictions, so nobody can annoy me even further. And my absolute intention is to nick Mike's prediction, because nothing else brings me more pleasure. So if Mike grimaces when I say my prediction, I'm going to celebrate, right? So I've now got to think about it. I'm going to say Fulham 0. West Ham United 2. Right, I'm now going to go to Larry. Oh, I've nicked Larry's guess in there.
It was close.
You sure did. That's what I was going to go with. So I'll go with my old faithful. 2-1 West Ham. I say a goal by Bowen, and I say Somerville, if he starts to come off bench, I think he's going to nick a goal. So 2-1 West Ham.
Right, now that was both Nigel and Mike's prediction due to their facial expressions. So now, Nigel, what are you going with?
Well, I was going to go with a 2-1.
Yeah.
But I think now I'm going to nick Mike's 3-1. Because I knew he was going to just have to. He wants us to win, but he knows they're going to score. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think they score. I do think they score. I think it might be that Pereira, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think he'll score. I do think that Kudos will score this week.
I'll take
so I think he might maybe get a couple.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
right, and Mike,
that's what I think. Maybe Somerville, if he does start. I like. Do you know what? I like Somerville. I liked him at Leeds. He was really, really good, and he looked a fantastic player. He seems to be a bit overawed by it all, playing for us. Like he feels like he shouldn't be in the team. But I think with a bit of confidence, he could nick a third.
Yeah. So, Mike, you can't have 2-0. You can't have 2-1. You can't have 3-1. So, go on then.
5-0 West Ham, Mike.
Yeah, I'd love it to be the other way around, mate. 3-2. 3-2.
3-2. There we go. So we've all predicted a West Ham win, which is what I'd like to see. Let's take some of your predictions and see what you guys.
Bound to be 0-0.
Bound to be 0-0. Now we've all predicted goals. There's no doubt about that. There were some predictions a little bit on in the chat, which I'm going to find. Now we're going to go to Larry for his final thought in just a second, because Larry, I don't want any notes on them paper not to be utilised, right? So have a little look. If there's any stat or anything that you have not mentioned yet, I want you to mention it, because you've put time and effort into the production of this show more than I have, so I respect you for that. Terry, 2-0 for me too. Come on, you Irons. Great minds think alike, Ter. Great minds think alike. 2-1 Fulham with a Smith Rowe winner. There's Peter's customary West Ham defeat prediction. Wouldn't be a show without that. 3-1 West Ham, 4-1 because we're massive. Fulham won both games last season for a total score of 7-0. Yeah, revenge time. Not too many Greg's items tonight, Rich. Got to save room for tomorrow's mega lunch. Oh yeah, you've got a little lunch date tomorrow, haven't you? So, but yeah, so better believe it, right? One thing I will say, so the first proper away day, 2nd of November, Nottingham Forest away. The parents are on a cruise, right? Parents on a cruise, so I got to get myself up to Terry's, right? I'm going to bring bucketfuls of Greg's, right? Bucketfuls of Greg's that I got cheap the day before, okay? And we're going to have an absolutely brilliant away day. I know where I'd rather be, Nottingham or Spain.
Are you going to Forest away, Jake?
Hopefully, yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's one of my favourite grounds to go to.
Oh, I like Forest.
When we've gone the last couple of seasons, we've lost, but I'll tell you what, their fans
They're
are
brilliant,
probably
yeah.
one of the best fan
Yeah.
bases up there. They're so loud and they're really, really good. The ground's like old school, and it's a really, really good away day, Nottingham Forest.
It is, yeah. 2 years ago when they just came up into the Premier League, it was like 45 degrees.
Yep.
Terry was dressed as a cricket umpire. He had all white on. He looked like a cricket umpire. I can't mention cricket today without mentioning Somerset's massive win in the county championship earlier. Get in there. Beat Surrey. Anyway, right now, start again. Larry, have you got a final thought for us?
I know, just a couple things. I Troj, two different things. Correct, they beat us the last two times, and even listening to Nigel, I see where we would go with just Rodriguez and Alvarez in the back because we don't want to risk too much now in the defense. So I see that. But overall, we faced Fulham 26 times. We won 16. 8 of them were away. So we got and it's funny, you don't have a draw against them. No draws. It was just 16-6 is our record against them, and 8 away. So, and I think we got a different team than last year. So we look at the last 2 pummels, but we got a new team. So if we can come out, with our chemistry, even with the 5 guys at least away on international and play it, and I can see the conservative way, maybe don't go to 3 mids on the back, have Rodriguez and Alvarez, and I can see a West Ham win tomorrow. Saturday.
I like that. I do. Now we're going to do things a little bit differently with Nigel and Mike's final thought tonight, because I like democracy in this world. Democracy is the fundamental baseline for our world. Now, for this match preview, our normal panel is Nigel, Mike, and Gary. Gary couldn't be asked to be here tonight. No, I'm only joking. He had a very good reason not to be here tonight. So now we've had a fantastic, I must say, 51-minute performance from Larry. I would now like the normal Nigel and Mike to raise their hand if they think that Larry should now replace Gary on the preview permanently.
Oh, you can't say that, Jake.
Jake, I'm just about to go because I've got 1% left and I'm not.
Yeah, but Jake, I think we might have to add another screen.
Or
And that's democracy for you.
And I can always come on whenever you need me if I have my time too, because you can't replace the 3 amigos. Gary's great on this show as well.
Yeah.
I'll listen.
We love Gary.
I called you so just give him a stick. But like I said, I respect all you guys. I learn a lot from you guys when I listen to your insights and stuff like that. So, Gary, I'm just your backup. If you need me to, and if you guys need me to come in once in a while, no problem.
Larry,
you mean you love to hear us moaning, Gary? You mean?
Yeah, I do.
You love to hear us moaning.
We love Gary, and we hope to welcome Gary back for a slight bit of criticism next week on the show. But yeah, right, it's been a laugh. We've done a lot longer than I anticipated doing tonight. So thank you very much for your time, Nigel, Mike, and Larry. That's the most laughs I've had in a while on here, actually. So, any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, I do think that we're going to we'll come out a different team. I think against these. I think having like we did against Palace. I think the whole team, they thought to themselves, look, we got thumped here last year and it was embarrassing. And it was embarrassing at Fulham last year. So I don't think they're going to want to be embarrassed. You look at the show after that game, and Moyes in particular. Do you remember the stick he got?
Yeah.
It was savage. And I think that, the players ain't going to want that. So I think they're going to put in a bit of a performance on Saturday. So, and I like the brass band there as well outside. It's got good touch.
Loved it. He loved it. Terry's going to starve himself until the 2nd of November with his Greg's platter that I'm going to get him. Honestly, I'm going to go down there the night before with my 50% off code and rinse the place dry for about £3.50. That's
How
the way
many
it
steak and
is.
bean pasties can one eat?
Jake, take your Greggs and you'll be able to sausage roll with it. It's all part of the master plan. Do not worry about that one. 6-1 say they did. They did. 2 did, Jake. Good video. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. My final thought is we love Gary. I hope he's back in next week because we do miss Gary. Larry, you were a fantastic replacement this evening, and I thank you very much for your time. The normal Mike and Nigel, your check will be in the post for tonight. It may get lost in the post, but it went. Anything? No.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it.
Tumbleweed, mate, that one.
Yeah.
Tumbleweed, that one.
Okay.
Carrier
Right.
pigeon. Got shot, I
Right.
think.
I will try and make you laugh, Nigel, next week with my attempt at a joke. Take care, cry much, people. Come on, your irons. And we will
Come on,
see
your
you
irons.
right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much and goodbye.
See you later.
See you
Cheers,
later, guys.
gents. Thank you.